In Chile, it seems that English is used as a means to an end and not as a true window to knowledge. According to the results of the study conducted by the company Education First, the country is in the 45th place among the 18 countries consulted in the English Proficiency Index, which means an unfavorable and conditional result in terms of the possibilities for people to develop in different areas, whether academic or job related, when opting for a better position, for example. Mastering other language besides the mother tongue is indispensable today, especially English. We live in a globalized world, and mastering that language becomes a fundamental task when it's about knowing new places, communicating, and even studying. That is a reason why Claudia Canales, engineer who lives in United States, will answer some questions regarding the importance of knowing about this language and what measures should be taken in terms of education to strengthen the knowledge of this.
I believe it's important to speak English because it opens you doors to communicate with other people. It also gives you opportunities to learn from the world in a different way. And nowadays, every country has a relationship with another country with probably languages that we don't know, and English has become the common tongue, so you can have something in common with the Asian markets or the European markets. And so I believe English is very, very important in how the world is functioning nowadays. I think it helps to know a new language because yo caché, yo caché a lo que te refería. I think it helps to learn a new language because it opens your mind to a new way of thinking. Because when you have to start thinking in another language or start to translate, you start to also understand new cultures in the process. Like the way that we formulate sentence, we decide on how to speak. It has a lot to do in the language that we speak. In the Chilean Spanish, we tend to speak a lot with animals and very short words and invented words. And when you have to start to translate to another language, you realize also like how limited or how broadened your language is and how it also reflects on your culture. So when you start learning new languages, your mind also opens up to new experiences and to new ways of living life, and realizing that maybe in Germany you talk more about very tangible things and practical things, and in Spanish you talk about the adjectives and descriptions, and maybe in English everything is shortened and how it's more precise, the language, and that also gives you a feeling and an idea of how people are, and that makes communication easier because when you know who you're talking to, it's easier to relate and to establish a relationship.
Speaking English allows you to know other cultures and lifestyles, new people around the world, understand their habits and customs, among others. Also, knowing English will help even to understand better our culture, our traditions and language. Apparently, English is the most demanded language in the companies, which is also why, as we said before, it becomes important to improve the access to education, allow access to internships in different parts of the world, access to academic information such as papers and texts published in English.
I think in the level of English that we teach in schools here is not enough for them to put it into practice in an everyday basis. It's very basic. So any language, when you don't practice it every day, you don't get to like internalize it or start to associate. So when you just have one signature, one assignment, or 1 hour a week where you just do that, or 1 hour a day, is not enough for you to like really start using the language as it is. So that's why immersion programs are much more helpful because you are forced to talk the language 24/7. And I feel like that's the big difference between just learning English in a school, because you don't really learn the language, you just like learn some hacks, some words, but you don't know how to use it or express yourself. But when you live the language, like when you're 24/7 a day speaking it, you start learning how to say things and do things, and you have to start associating the ideas on a daily basis. So then it's more easy to internalize the language, because now you're not just saying, oh, buenos dias, you're saying, oh, buenos, good, dias, a day, oh, morning is the part of the day that I'm saying good. So then you have to start to put in two and two together. So that's why I feel like in school we don't learn how much we should learn, because we don't practice it as much.